Aloha everyone, and welcome to the Kilauea Eruption and Leilani Estates update for July 19th, 2018. I'm going to get right to the report because I'm eager to show you all something else later on in the video. The USGS reports for Thursday, July 19th, 2018 at 12:27 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time. Fissure 8 continues to erupt lava into the Perch Channel leading northeastward from the vent. Lava levels in the channel appeared a bit low this morning, and there were no overflows noted. The southern margin of the flow is about 500 meters or 0.3 miles from the boat ramp at Isaac Holly Park this morning. Despite no visible surface connection to the Fissure 8 channel, lava continues to ooze out at a few points on the 6-kilometer, 3.7 mile wide flow front into the ocean. No other fissures are active this morning as well. Over on Highway 130, just south of Leilani Estates, HVO field crews are still tracking activity as conditions allow. Currently, there has been no changes in temperature, crack width, or gas emissions noted. Up on the Kilauea Volcano summit, after the collapse event that occurred at 1:28 a.m. July 18th, seismicity at the summit decreased immediately following the activity and is now back to 25 to 35 earthquakes per hour leading up to the next collapse explosion event, which is expected to occur this afternoon. Inward slumping of the rim and walls of Halemaumau continues in response to the ongoing subsidence at the summit. And now for the mini updates for the Kilauea Summit and Lower East Rift Zone activity for July 19th. At 12:47 a.m., USGS reported that Mauna Loa Volcano is not erupting. There are fires reported west of mile marker 44 on Sato Road. At 9:01 a.m., no new overflows observed in the Lower East Rift Zone overnight. Lava in the channels will likely increase after the next collapse event. At 9:16 p.m., USGS reports at 4:33 p.m., July 19th, a collapse event occurred at Kilauea Summit. The energy released by the event was equivalent to a 5.2 magnitude earthquake. And that is the end of the mini updates. And finally, the EPA's air monitoring sensor report. For the Pahoa High School sensor at 11:10 p.m., it was currently reading 0.0017 parts per million for sulfur dioxide. I do believe that that reading is perhaps an error. It seems to always have a little bit of sulfur there for some reason. Don't know if it's a sensor glitch or if it's a true reading, but nonetheless, it is a very low reading. Moving on, we go to the Leilani Estates sensor, and it is currently reading at 11:17 p.m. 0.0 parts per million for sulfur dioxide and 0.0 parts per million for hydrogen sulfide. And moving down, as you can see on the map graphic, there is an orange dot. I can't even begin to pronounce this particular one. I will find out how to pronounce it at a later date, and we will start including it in the report for a reason I will be pointing out here in just a moment. So for its current reading at 11:21 p.m., it is reading 0.231 parts per million for sulfur dioxide. That's a pretty significant reading, and 0.0 parts per million for hydrogen sulfide. Now, as for why I'm going to include this one, as you noticed, I did not read sensor reports for the Nanavali Estate sensor, and I did not read a report for the Kalapana Seaview Estate sensor as well. The reason is as you can see on the map, the dots are gone. Now, I don't know if that means these sensors are offline. Usually when they're offline, for some reason, they turn into a black dot. According to the legend, instrument connection status would be down in that case. However, when the Leilani sensor at the top of Leilani at 130, Highway 130 and Leilani Avenue vanished, when it was removed, the dot vanished off the map as well. So I don't know if that means these sensors have been removed from Nanavali or from Seaview. It's speculation on my part at this point. Time will tell. And that pretty much does it for the update. Now let's move into the look at that there segment, because I'm really excited to show you something I've seen, and we'll get to that one in just a second. But first, hey, look at that there. on the left hand middle of the screen, you see that little protrusion there? That is our little island that we've seen in other images and videos. It has apparently connected to the mainland, so it is no longer an island. I think now it would be considered a little peninsula, I think would be the correct term. But yeah, that's pretty cool. And those black sand beaches that go across the connection and down to the right, going down the shoreline, we got that little bit of active flow in there, but then another little bit of a black sand beach next to it. So again, it's still exciting to watch this area change. And okay, so we're done with this one. Now we're going to move on to the one that I've hinted to a few times in the video. This is actually a video from the USGS. Okay, first what we're going to do with this particular video and look at that there is we're going to run through the whole video first. And I'm going to point out a few things, which I talked about the other night, is our lava tube, which is still right there. It shows an active flow coming through it, so that we know that the tube is going to remain open, at least for the time being. And then they switch over to this nice little view here, and also they've reported in the description I don't think of this video, but of an image that I've seen, that the cone is 120 feet tall now. So I don't know if that's just them correcting their estimation, or if the cone has had some type of erosion around the top. It's probably, I don't know. I don't know if cones stop building and shrink after, the lava fountains, quit spewing so high. Because as you can see, the fountains weren't quite as high, and the flow, isn't so vigorous. And let's see. In this one right here, we can see that the lava channel is a little bit lower. More so here in this image now. And yeah, it's pretty cool looking. It's a good little video they've done here. We got the steam escaping there off the side. Then they switch to this view, and what we're looking at here, that is Leilani Avenue, and Nohea Street runs pretty much there at the edge of the flow on the left, but it's kind of buried on the flow on the right. And of course, the next street going down the road, which would be up towards the video, would be Luana, and that is of course where Fissure 8 is located. Okay, now we're going to watch the video again, but this time I'm going to point out something very interesting. If you look at the lava flow coming out of the cone, there is a drop from the level in the cone to the level outside, so it's flowing down almost like a waterfall. That means there's some type of ridge or blockage at the base of that part of the cone. Now in this image, notice the lava is flowing backwards into the cone out of that little pool off the side. That means the flow from the fissure itself is down significantly, but it doesn't stay that way. That is part of the fluctuation. So now we're seeing that on the low end of the pulse, the volume of lava is significantly lower. At least that's how I'm interpreting what I just saw there. So I'm going to go back, and since we've already watched the whole video already once, I'm going to go back and I'm going to show y'all now a side-by-side comparison of those two views of the fissure and the way the lava was flowing. So look at that there. I know this video is from July 14th, but I just wish I knew exactly how much time was between these two shots from this video set. Okay, and that will do it for tonight's Look at That There segment. Just want to remind everybody that if you haven't subscribed yet, please, do so. That way you can be notified when I have new videos available. I usually try to do one every night, but I do take a night off here or there every few days. Gotta have some me time. Don't forget to also check out my Smug Mug and Redbubble accounts with all my photography. You can find links in the description. And of course, follow me on Twitter to get notified there, and also any other photos or things I might want to share there. So that'll do it for tonight's update. This has been the Leilani Estates update for July 19th, 2018.